Hello and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. So, it seems the house that was built on promise of a new Nigeria is shaking to its very foundation. The ongoing drama between the Labour Party's national chairman Julius Abure and its 2023 presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi has reached a boiling point. Just recently, a press release from Julius Abure's faction of the Labour Party dropped like a bombshell, accusing Peter Obi of misleading, mischievous and delusionally directives after Obi was seen in a viral video telling supporters to vote for another party's candidate in an upcoming by-election. The party is now asking its members to completely disregard Obi's instruction. In the video, Peter Obi himself speaks about his political future and his disillusionment with transactional politics, declaring that his focus isn't on power for power's sake, but on seeing Nigeria truly change. So, what is really going on? Is this the end of the road for Peter Obi and the Labour Party? We'll break down Abure's statement, analyze what Peter Obi said, and then I'll give you my critical take on this whole issue. So, let's get into it. First, let us watch the video of Peter Obi that has everyone talking. Sit back and take a watch.
Presentation in our assembly where nobody can leave his party after election. Exactly. If you want to change party, do it during election. After election, you must stay there. If you forget, they replace the person. Exactly. Wow.
Very correct.
So, which one am I going to contest him? As you know, because of the problem they have, some of us who are leaders in the opposition have a president adopted ADC. But I can tell you, before the election, more will join. Yes. More people will come together. Because the opposition needs to come together. Yeah. We are not coming together to wrestle power. If it is wrestle power, can't be to be out of it. If we are not going to use that power to change the fortune of this country, please count me out of it. I'm not looking for political position. I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I am desperate to see Nigeria change. I live in a change place. And I tell people that. I live in a place that work. I've been to schools. People have asked me questions. Peter, why did you go to all these schools? I went to them because I wanted to know where those people who went there have different brains. So as we advance now, we have adopted ADC for 2027 election. Okay. We are still battling to take over Labour because that's the right thing. There was nothing wrong. What was wrong in Labour is that we find out that people abandoned what we were trying to build into transaction. Yeah. Okay, mess. So that was it. There's nothing wrong. That's the only thing that's wrong. We don't want to do transactional politics. I was offered a lot by this government. That could have been anything. But that's not what it is. So that's it. Somebody asked about being fair. My sister, I live in this country. This country must change.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Yes, amen.
Bad behavior, uncountry behavior.
So, welcome back. Now, let us dissect what happened here. First, let's look at the press release signed by Julius Abure. He comes out swinging, calling Peter Obi an irony and a paradox in Nigerian political space. Abure claims that Obi himself is the architect of the crisis within the Labour Party. Citing an illegal expanded stakeholders meeting he alleges Obi and Governor Alex Obi hosted. The statement accuses Obi of desperation to control the party and says he lacks the competence and character to lead a new Nigeria. The key message from Abure is that the Labour Party is on the ballot for the by-election and members should ignore Obi. Now, let's turn to what Obi said in the video you just watched. He talked about opposition leaders, including himself, adopting the APC for now. He emphasizes his vision for a political system where politicians can't just switch parties after an election without consequences. He says the goal of the opposition coming together is not just to wrestle power, but to fundamentally change the fortune of this country. He makes a very powerful statement. If it is to wrestle power, count Peter Obi out of it. He insists he is not desperate to be president of Nigeria, but is desperate to see Nigeria change. This directly contrasts with Abure's claim that Obi is desperate for power. Obi's speech suggests a frustration with the current state of the Labour Party, which he hints has become about transactional politics rather than a movement of change. He says the problem in the Labour Party was that people turned a movement into a transaction. So, when you link both statements, you see a complete breakdown of trust. Abure paints Obi as a political nomad trying to destroy the party from within, while Obi portrays himself as a principled leader who is moving away from a party that has lost its way. Now, for my take on this, we have to be very, very objective. Let us start with Peter Obi, a leader who hopes to navigate the complex politics of a country like Nigeria is expected to be able to manage ordinary party politics. If he cannot get his party leaders to work with him, how is he going to control the National Assembly to get his critical policies approved in time? The presidency isn't a one-man show. This constant infighting raises valid questions about his leadership style when faced with opposition. And to his followers, is this how you plan to hold him accountable when he gets into office? A leader cannot be a deity who cannot be questioned. Everyone must not be forced to fall in line, otherwise they get cancelled. This is not democracy. On the other hand, let's talk about Julius Abure. In your press release, you claim to have candidates on the ballot box, but you haven't mentioned their names. There are no posters, no campaign to prove this. Just 2 days ago, you and your group were complaining that INEC didn't recognize the candidate you submitted. Now, you are attacking the very man who gave your party the national relevance it enjoys today. Abure, I don't blame you entirely. You were a lawyer who hadn't achieved much prominence until Obedience movement gave you the publicity that you now seem to take for granted. To turn around and bite the hand that fed you is the highest of political naivety. Ultimately, this is a messy public divorce, and the biggest loser are the millions of Nigerians who invested their hopes in the promise of a united, formidable opposition. Both men need to look into the mirror and ask themselves if their actions are truly serving the new Nigeria they claim to be fighting for. So, what do you think? Is Peter Obi justified in seemingly abandoning the Labour Party, or is Julius Abure right to call him out? Who is really to blame for this crisis? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Obas Trending Gist for more incisive analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.